60 years after the Ford Mustang became the first pony car, it's the last pony car. Dodge Challenger and the Chevy Camaro both out of production, but Ford is not letting up on the throttle. The Mustang's going to be racing in more racing series than ever this year. NASCAR, Australian Supercars, NHRA Racing, and IMSA Sports Car Series. American Cars and Racing Executive Editor Gary Gastelu, and this is a special edition of A Car Report coming at you from Charlotte Motor Speedway with Ford Mustang racing driver Jimmy Car Farley, who also has a side gig as the CEO of the Ford Motor Company. That's a pretty nice hustle for somebody who likes cars.
Yeah, no, but there's a lot of business every day, but this is my fun. This is where I recharge. This is where I connect with people who love cars.
And you love the Mustang.
I do.
And the Mustang is the last of the pony cars, at least for now. Certainly going to be the last of the V8 ones. Dodge isn't going to be making any more of those. They're switching to electric. Who does it even compete against anymore? Why do you have to go in all these racing series on Sunday to sell cars on Monday?
Well, I think for the company, racing is changed. It used to be, and for Formula One and things like that, there's technology change. Really for us, racing is the best way to develop new derivatives that people are excited about on the street. When you look at what we've done in off-road racing with Raptor or the GTD that's coming, you know, this is really where we develop derivatives that people who love cars, you know, want to own. And so that's one reason. The other one is that now we can really sustain racing as a business so that it goes beyond executives like me and it continues to build a brand.
You're going to be selling customer racing cars and racing derivatives, street cars.
Yes, it's a big change for us because before racing was very much a marketing expense. And now it's really, I mean, the growth of Raptor off-road and Ford as a dominant off-road brand has really changed our mind about racing. We can really make a great business out of selling race cars, the Bronco DR, Raptor series, but we also sell merchandise and race cars at the dealership or directly to race teams. That's our strategy this year, and it's a big change.
You sold about 50,000 street Mustangs last year. Is that where you want that to be, or has that got to grow back up to 100,000?
You know, the funny thing about Mustang that people don't realize, especially in America, is that we actually sell as many Mustangs outside the U.S. as inside the U.S. You wouldn't be surprised in 9/11 that way, but that's actually where Mustang has gone. Our biggest dealers for Mustangs are in Australia and Sweden, not the U.S. So, yeah, I think there's a big market because a lot of brands in the name of electrification have left the segment, and we kind of have it to our own. But we're also kind of doubling down on Mustang, and I think you're going to see a lot of new derivatives that people have never imagined, including a $300,000 Porsche competitor.
$300,000 Mustang GTD, basically a road-going version of your IMSA GT3
it's actually
car.
Faster,
more power,
yeah.
800 horsepower.
Yes.
Why do you think you can sell a $300,000 Ford Mustang? Who's buying that?
Because we already sold them all.
Is it sold out?
Yeah, pretty much. Look, I mean, we have 10,000 dealers around the world. I mean, everyone wants a GTD who are just dealers. Forget it. You know, so the number of people who want a Porsche GT3 RS competitor that has a different ambiance than a 911 is incredible. And just like the race teams that come over from Porsche, we're seeing more and more customers around the world saying, I want something different. I don't want just the same old 911 GT RS. That's fine. Those are great. But our car is really different. We have active DRS. We have a lot of new technologies that we're bringing. A rear transaxle, things that have never really been in this price category before other than maybe Aston Martin. And we're doing with a Mustang. I think it'll surprise people, the performance and the technology in the vehicle.
The Mustang is your last car model. Is there room for another performance car Ford, or are you just going to be doing Mustangs in a bunch of different varieties?
No, I think there is room, and we have Puma in Europe. We have a lot of cars around the globe. I would say the criteria for us as leaders of Ford is we don't want to make any commodity products. We want products that either are used for work or used for passion, like off-road Bronco, you know, retail pickup trucks like Ranger and Maverick, or things like Mustang. We really want the company to be focused on passion products that people buy them to make their lives better. They can't kind of imagine their life without them. And will there be other cars in that portfolio? Probably. I think there's a new class of cars that's going to emerge with aerodynamics because of the battery cost on battery electrics that will kind of challenge what a car or a crossover is. Aerodynamic new vehicles to reduce the size of the batteries because the aero has such a big impact on the battery size. And so we should open our mind to kind of new silhouettes, not like well, it's a car or a crossover. Actually, there's going to be a lot of vehicles in the middle with these new aerodynamic trends.
Last question. Your friends at Dodge, when they left with the Challenger, they kind of dropped the mic with a 900 horsepower version of that, which actually makes 1,025 on E85 fuel. That GTD Mustang, which is 300,000 a sports car, 800 horsepower. Have you set sights on maybe taking that muscle car crown back from Dodge before it's all over?
I think it'll never end. That's a great thing about our business. It'll never end. I think there are so many more opportunities in the Mustang brand at that high end that we haven't even thought of. I don't know if it'll be like, we did Raptor, it's very different than TRX. I think the same thing happens on the on-road side. We're never going to be just like someone else. We're going to do it our own way at Ford, and that's why people love us. So if we do something, it won't be an imitation of someone else. It'll probably be something that you'll be a little surprised.
All right, Jim. Thanks for talking to me, and thanks
Thank
for taking
you.
me for a spin in the super van.
That's
You're
cool.
halfway decent driver.
I'm okay. I got a day job, though.